I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a little bit as I move along. I have just read about David's war with the Ammonites after they abused and humiliated his messengers, and this event is detailed also in 1 Chronicles. So we are turning back to 1 Chronicles. This will be chapter 19. Ammonites insult David's messengers and plan war against Israel. David defeats the Ammonites and the Syrians. Now it came to pass after this that Nahash, the king of the children of Ammon, died, and his son reigned in his stead. And David said, I will shew kindness unto Hanun, the son of Nahash, because his father shewed kindness to me. And David sent messengers to comfort him concerning his father. So the servants of David came into the land of the children of Ammon to Hanun to comfort him. But the princes of the children of Ammon said to Hanun, Thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he hath sent comforters unto thee? Are not his servants come unto thee for to search and to overthrow and to spy out the land? Wherefore Hanun took David's servants, and shaved them, and cut off their garments in the midst hard by the buttocks, and sent them away. Then there went certain, and told David how the men were served, and he sent to meet them, for the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, Tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. So we read all about this in 2 Samuel, but I do want to mention here that I forgot to mention in 2 Samuel that David was being honorable here. And I think if it wasn't for these, what it says, the princes, I think Hanun would have accepted. I think Hanun did accept the messengers. Said, this is very kind of David to send the messengers to comfort. But then the princes start whispering in his ear and convince him that David is actually sending these as spies because David's planning on attacking. And so as a preemptive measure, Hanun humiliates the messengers, which is basically a declaration of war, as I mentioned in my last video. Verse 6, And when the children of Ammon saw that they had made themselves odious to David, Hanun and the children of Ammon sent 1,000 talents of silver to hire them chariots and horsemen out of Mesopotamia, and out of Syria Maacah, and out of Zobah. So they hired 30 and 2,000 chariots, and the king of Maacah and his people, who came and pitched before Medeba. And the children of Ammon gathered themselves together from their cities and came to battle. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the host of the mighty men. And the children of Ammon came out and put the battle in array before the gate of the city. And the kings that were come were by themselves in the field. Now when Joab saw that the battle was set against him before and behind, he chose out of all the choice of Israel, and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered unto the hand of Abishai his brother, and they set themselves in array against the children of Ammon. And he said, If the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will help thee. Be of good courage, and let us behave ourselves valiantly for our people, and for the cities of our God, and let the Lord do that which is good in his sight. So Joab and the people that were with him drew nigh before the Syrians unto battle, and they fled before him. And when the children of Ammon saw the Syrians were fled, they likewise fled before Abishai his brother, and entered into the city. Then Joab came to Jerusalem. So I didn't make any comment on this. I think it's fairly straightforward that the Ammonite army was camped just outside the city. The Syrian armies were in the valley, a little ways off by themselves. And when Joab marched his army up, he apparently marched right in between the two. And so he had Ammon on one side and Syrians on the other. And so he separated his army into two parts, and they attacked both fronts. And they defeated both fronts. Verse 16. And when the Syrians saw that they were put to the worse before Israel, they sent messengers and drew forth the Syrians that were beyond the river. And Shophak, the captain of the host of Hadarezer, went before them. And it was told David, and he gathered all Israel and passed over Jordan and came upon them, and set the battle in array against them. So when David had put the battle in array against the Syrians, they fought with him, but the Syrians fled before Israel. And David slew of the Syrians 7,000 men that fought in chariots, and 40,000 footmen, and killed Shophach, the captain of the host. And when the servants of Hadarezer saw that they were put to the worse before Israel, they made peace with David, and became his servants. Neither would the Syrians help the children of Ammon any more. So there you go. The first time they go out is Joab leading the host, which is fine. He's the captain of the army, so that's fine. Second time they go out, David himself goes out. And as we read in 2 Samuel, David is the one that kills the host of the Syrians, Shobach, or Shophach, however, whichever name. It's spelled slightly differently depending on its Samuel or Chronicles. So, but just one other note here that this in First Chronicles it says they came from Mesopotamia, and then it says after the first defeat, they brought more people from across the river. Now, when it says Mesopotamia here, it is talking mainly about the northwestern section between the Tigris and Euphrates. It's not the entire length, it's just that northern section. Then it says from across the river. That's getting the rest of Mesopotamia. So these people are coming from a good distance to try and defeat Israel, and David is defeating them every time. And after this, they refuse to help Ammon anymore. So it's very interesting. I love the history. Not great doctrinal stuff here, but I love the history, and it's a fascinating story. Now, I had got one more chapter to read in First Chronicles before returning back to 2 Samuel, so we'll see you then.